Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. I'm very happy to have another Joy Toy set here, very sci-fi. This is from their Battle for the Stars series, and this is the Zero Toost second Legion Interstellar Trooper. Zero Toost. 3 figures in real heavy spaceman battle armor, I guess, since it's Interstellar Troopers. On the back, I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guns for the 3 troopers. Probably some pistols in there too. Yes, some pistols. Their helmets and a big axe and a shield. I'm really excited about this set because it's something real sort of sci-fi, space troopers, space force, space marine sort of looking thing. The first time I've seen something properly like this in 118. To this sort of bulkiness, I believe. Well, not entirely true, but by a company that we know is going to have decent articulation. So let's have a... Whoa, that smells so strong. Let's have a look at this set and see what it is all about. Let's look at the paperwork first. Oh, they look good. They look great. My only concern is going to be what is the articulation like. Now, you guys are going to ask me, does the armor come off? And I am going to say, I don't know yet. I will have a look in a second. Okay, let's have a look at the accessories. So there are 2 guns I don't like, and the reason I don't like, if you know me, is because they have that bar across the bottom. I don't like that on my action figure guns because it makes it more difficult for them to hold, in my opinion. The other guns don't have that, and they look pretty cool. 3 colours, red, a sort of a beigey brown, and a sort of the plastic brown. You could add some extra colour to that, but they look pretty nice. No dual barrel again. Shield, which says, warning, electrical hazard. Apparently there's electrical hazard on that shield. Then we have the masks. I'm guessing one is for the leader, since it's the same, just the colour is different. And the other 2 are the same colours. Or helmets, I should say. Axe looks really good, to be fair. That's a nice looking axe. Though we've got big heavy metal armour on like they have, or whatever polycarbonate or whatever material armour. I'm not sure how good that will do. And then we have the little bits in here. Should have the attachment for the shield. Got a big ass knife in there too, and some spare joints. Okay, so we got 3 handguns, a bit more sci-fi looking than normal. There are 2 spare hands I can see. There is the shield attachment, and there is 2 knives, I should say. Shield attachment, and there is 5 spare joints. Looks like 1 kneecap, an elbow, and looks like some wrist stroke hand joints. I'll put back in there now. Okay, let's have a look at these figures. The yellow seems a bit extreme. However, if you ever play Games Workshop stuff, that means nothing. Very nice. Got their little jet packs on the back, so these are proper space troopers, it would appear. They're not very spacey with the upper body. Okay. Let me rephrase that, not upper body, with their waist, because there's no sort of space thing around their butts, like normal trousers, which means they would be very cold and freeze their arse off, literally, if they're in outer space. Okay, looks decent, the sculpt looks good. There's a nice caution thing by the jets, by the boots I've just seen, jetpack on the back, very bulky, lots of armor. I do like the aesthetic. I think they look... A colour scheme works, but you could paint them, they look even better. I am worried about the waist articulation having this huge sort of things on, but that might be a small price to pay. Okay, so apart from the colour difference in the helmet, is there any difference? I think other than colour, they look identical. New holster type on the legs. It's not a specific holster, it's more of a hole. Let's see how the gun fits in that before I look at articulation. It's got a bit of gives in it either, because these guns are actually really quite wide. If it's for the actual guns, it should be, since there's 3 of the guns that come. Okay, that's never going to come out. Really tight. But my only worry would be that over time that would deteriorate and maybe break, particularly if you're in a country of strong sunlight, strong UV. But it works really well. Okay, so since they're all the same, we use this guy for articulation. Head, there's a left, there's a right, there's a down, not really up, there is a small side to side. Shoulders aren't going to go high because of these pads here. They could have designed that slightly better. But having said that, there's a bit of give to them, he can get to 180. Bicep bend, I won't do from the 180, I think I'll just do from the front. And he does get 90 degrees in the bicep bend. That is a surprise. I thought it'd be less. Wrist, the right hand is gun articulation as normal, and the left hand is just this articulation here. Waist, they will turn. He can go forwards and sideways and backwards a little bit, which I wasn't expecting, so that's a nice surprise. Hips outwards, I'm not expecting a lot because this belt here, but still better than I thought, to be fair. Double kneecap, huge armor. He still gets just over 90, which is a pleasant surprise. Feet. Okay, tippy toe. Dorsal flexation is far better than you would have thought as well. Look at that, that's amazing for this bulk. They don't turn, but they do swivel like this. Okay, does the armor come off? The short answer is yes, I can see it does. So you can take this armor off and apply it to other figures. Plus you can see that it moves around, so that can come off. And you can see on his upper body that there is a little plastic latch or iron part that goes through it there. So it does come off. That is good to know. Almost you look at the like the original Acid Rain sort of Facsetti and those sort of figures, Facsetti videos, where they're quite bulky armor that can come off, is a bit like that. Okay, let's see what they're like with the helmets on. Atmospheric. I like it, and it's nice sort of skull motif you can make out there on the helmet. Look very good. And don't worry, they do stand up quite easily because the feet are a bit more bulky. In fact, the only thing that you can't come off is the feet, as far as I can tell. So that if you take the rest of the stuff off, you have these really strange, big, bulky yellow shoes. But with the helmet on, you're going to lose a lot of articulation in the actual head. But they do look the part. Okay, let me see if I can make the shield thing. I did one recently, one of my reviews, and it actually snapped. So I've got to be really careful pushing this one on. So let's see. Okay, shield handle is on. Now let's see how they hold their weapons. First, the gun I don't like. Oh, that does warm me up, but never mind. It looks nice, but I don't like those bars on the bottom. Hands got some give. So let's see. Not the best, but he holds it okay. He can get it with the other hand as well. So that is a pleasant surprise. But now he's let go of it with his gun hand. The other gun should be far easier. And would you look at that straight away, no hassle, easy to hold, short stock, so it can go into his shoulder if need be. Holds that particularly well straight away. Pistols, they do hold their pistols normally superbly. I'm not expecting anything different here, but the problem with this pistol is the hole for where the trigger is a bit small, so you may want to cut that a bit bigger, possibly. So to hold their pistols well too. Very, very nice. Axe will fit well in the, not so much in the gun hand, but the right hand. The left hand, he's having a bit of a trouble holding that as well, because the handles are slightly different shape than the gun. Okay, if he holds it at the bottom, he holds it okay with his left hand, and the right hand, far more difficult to hold it, but he still can, I think. Yeah, with the right hand he can hold it too. And then the knife, knife one, both hands will be okay, and knife two definitely, because it's got the knuckle duster guard there. Okay, shield. How do I want to hold the shield? Now, one thing I think that maybe G.i.Joe have not thought about, well, they must have thought about the shield, is this part here is supposed to go over a wrist, but it's hard plastic with very little give before it will snap, and you've got these huge bulky parts on here. So it's going to be a bit of a mission. Yeah, do not want to put that part over his wrist, because that will snap that plastic, of that I'm sure. If he didn't have the armor on one side, it'd be a lot easier. But I can just put it over his wrist and have him not hold the handle, and he holds that shield really, really nicely, just like that, as is. I like this set. I think, would I paint them? Maybe in the future I'd paint them, but I like them as they are. I think they're pretty cool. Great sculpt on these extra armor pieces with these like thrusters on the backpack, on the bottom of the boots. You know, if you're into Marvel, they make some sort of really cool high-tech criminals. And into your sci-fi verse, this goes nicely with your other stuff. And I'm going to have a quick comparison with their Wandering Planet figures and Acid Rain to see how their sci-fi match up. So if I go for the Wandering Planet figures first, let's go for this bad boy. Let's go for this one here. Obviously, these war stars are more suited for outer space and zero atmosphere compared to the Wandering Earth ones. But the Wandering Earth ones, that every time I put on those helmets, I think those helmets look superb. I wonder if they can transfer it or not. Not really, because he needs to go down further. He's like, you can't see his head. His head's like, ah. But you could mod to make them fit, and that'd be pretty cool. Okay. In fact, you just have to do a bit of cutting away in the armor, and you could get the headpiece to fit. In fact, you just do body swaps. You could swap the legs, the waist, just keep the upper body and the head on this one, and that would fit. Then you lose the backpack there. Okay, if we compare to the Acid Rain that I'm using all the time, the Aegis Sentinel from Civic Company, who is a big boy. You can see that he is slightly bigger, but they still scale well. He might have the firepower advantage, but they've got the armor advantage. Nice set. I do like these. I love the aesthetic. I think they look pretty damn cool, and it's nice to have something that's so sci-fi, I should say, in comparison to sort of the normal stuff we see. Great looking set, great figures, and they've got decent articulation despite all the bulk, so that's pretty cool. Okay, this is Awesome Action Toys. I'm signing out saying please like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back to more Awesome Action Toy videos for you guys, and do check out my other content, because there's loads of stuff there. Acid Rain World, a couple of bits of Marauder, loads of Joy Toy, a couple of G.I.Joe, and so on and so on. Vehicles and figures and different scales. Stay happy collecting. Bye-bye.